Hi, thank you for joining me. This is 000, The Field Before Form by Jason Gray. 5/5/2026, 6026, Anna Lucis, 1246, GMT, -6, #Winnipeg, #Manitoba, #Canada. If 999 is completion, 000 is not a beginning. It is what remains when beginning and ending no longer apply. The precondition. Before anything appears, before thought, before identity, before direction, there is a condition that cannot be described as something because it is not a thing. 000 points to that. Not emptiness as absence, but emptiness as capacity. Not void as nothing, but void as everything unexpressed. The zero that is not empty. Zero is misunderstood. It is treated as nothing, a placeholder, a lack. Zero is not absence. It is undifferentiated presence. No edges, no separation, no form, and everything that will ever take form emerges from it. 000 is not three zeros. It is the reinforcement of pure undivided potential. The end of reference. Every experience you have relies on reference, before and after, here and there, self and other. 000 removes the reference. There is no comparison, no measurement, no relative position. Without reference, the mind cannot orientate. Without orientation, there is no narrative, no story, no identity to anchor it. The silence before thought. Thought is movement, a shift from one state to another. Before movement, there is stillness, not forced, not practiced, intrinsic. 000 is that stillness, not the absence of thought after effort, not the absence of thought after effort, the absence of thought before it begins. In that state, there is nothing to observe because there is no separation between observer and observed. The collapse of identity. Identity requires distinction. I am this, I am not that. But when distinction dissolves, identity has nothing to attach to. 000 is not the refinement of identity. It is temporary disappearance, not death, not loss, suspension. The system no longer needs to define itself because there is nothing to differentiate from. The non-event. Every number before this implies something happening, movement, shift, change. 000 is not an event. It is the absence of event. No process, no transition, no activation. Nothing begins here. Nothing ends here, because nothing is in motion. The absolute neutral. Not positive, not negative, not balanced between the two, but beyond both. 000 is neutrality that cannot be tilted. No preference, no bias, no direction. A state so complete that it does not require adjustment. The source without identity. Everything that exists has a traceable origin, a cause, a trigger, a starting point. 000 cannot be traced because it does not originate. It precedes origin. It is not the source of things. It is the condition that allows source to exist. Without it, nothing could emerge, but it itself does not emerge. 000 is not something you reach. It is not something you achieve. It is not something you experience in a way you experience anything else, because experience requires separation, and here there is none. You do not observe 000. You do not enter it. You do not hold it. You are not separate from it, even now, even always. It is not hidden. It is not distant. It is simply unnoticed because everything else is louder, faster, more defined. 000 does not compete. It does not announce itself. It does not demand recognition. It remains exactly as it is, whether you perceive it or not. And if for even a moment everything else falls away, thought, identity, movement, narrative, you do not find 000. You realize something far more unsettling, that it was never absent, only covered, and beneath everything you think you are, everything you believe, everything you chase, there is something that has never moved, never changed, never needed to. 000 is not the end. It is not the beginning. It is what remains when both are gone. Jason Gray. I have experienced this a couple of times from the observer standpoint, though, so I have not fully absorbed into this, but this is total awareness, in my opinion, of being part of. It's just being part of everything. There is no you. There is no separation. There is no. It's just the most peaceful, most beautiful, most euphoric, most serene, most. It's just an undescribable feeling when you experience it. So I pray everybody does. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. All right. Thank you for joining. I'll see you next time.